Hey, Jesse Robbins, good to see you.
DJ Skillman, how are you?
Thank you for sponsoring.
Absolutely.
So just to say, I and my team love Splunk. We installed it about 2 weeks ago, and we're total fans already. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do, just so people know.
So Splunk's literally an IT search engine in the sense that all IT information, whether it's logs, configuration files, performance metrics, all in one location that allows you to pivot on just about any piece of information. The great thing is networks are serial. A plus B always turns into C at some point. So we have a time series index that allows you to search literally all of your IT data in one place at massive scale. And so we have things that you can visualize, you can report, you can have graphs alerting on all of this information that normally you go to silo one. Okay, here's my security silo, I'm going to work in a security tool set. Here's my change management silo, I'm going to work in that silo. And multiple teams kind of have to send requests over the wire and try to solve problems in, usually, hopefully, hours, maybe days. We try to change that and solve problems within minutes and seconds. Orders of magnitude faster mean time to repair. But then we also have the ability to report and alert, and instead of being a reactive team, we can help your organization become a proactive team and say, I've seen this before, I know how to fix it, I know what to look for, so let's go ahead and look for those things, alert when they happen, and then be able to fix problems before we get the phone calls. And we can do it at massive scale. We have people that are doing terabytes of data a day in a massive cluster of Splunk devices. So it's massive scalability, faster mean time to repair.
Probably my favorite Splunk feature is, and I hadn't actually seen it in like 6 months. I hadn't seen it since the new 4.0 release came out. But the arbitrary dashboard generation is amazing. So totally awesome. And you guys have a free version for, it's like less than 500 megs a day.
Exactly. So everything is up to 500 megabytes a day. You can download Splunk for free on Splunk.com. So everybody should have it on their laptop if they're ever grepping through logs. It's free. But if you go beyond 500 megs, you need authentication, you need massive scalability, then the same package that you would download can turn into a terabyte installation.
Awesome. I love the shirt.
Yeah.
All that belt, no tights.
All right, thank you very much. And thanks for sponsoring Velocity.
Thank you. Excellent.
How you doing?
Good.
I don't have to introduce myself. I've known you for years, and you know Jesse.
See you as well.
So it's great to have Strange Loop here. You guys have been a force in the last year. A lot of great things. I told you this yesterday. You and I were talking. A lot of great things from Strange Loop, webcasts, and Alistair Kroll, Uman study.
Great sponsored research. That was
Cool. Thanks, guys.
And you guys had a great workshop on Tuesday too.
We did. We got great feedback. People just appreciated seeing real numbers and real, like, doing it like they would do it. And so we kind of want to take that perspective, like do things the way they do it, try to compress it and not make it a 4-month project, but 90 minutes is tough. But yeah, we got some really positive feedback. It was great.
Yeah, so enough with all the compliments and praise. You guys are awesome. We're trying to give everyone a minute on the video to talk about themselves or company, what the audience has found compelling, what do you want people to know about Strange Loop?
Well, I think for us, we, like you, have been talking all about metrics. For us, it's about the relationship between performance and, obviously, conversion. Whatever that might mean, ad clicks, page views. We're now seeing search be a key conversion for some of our customers. And we're in the business of automating it. What's so interesting to me about this conference is how we keep getting pushed to the edge. You know, everyone talked about the easy stuff 3 years ago, do compression, do keep alives. Then we went into the spriting world. Now we're talking about flushing buffers. We're getting more and more difficult. The things are getting harder and harder. And then you add into that the proliferation of browsers. You add into that all of the regression challenges like sites change. And we believe the automation of that process is the way that most organizations can see success. Not all. If you can raise an army of developers and you can stay on top of this and it's worth the time and energy, we're not saying we're the only alternative. We're saying if you would like us to worry about performance and you to worry about features, that's a good trade-off for us.
Certainly, large companies, the Yahoos, the Googles, the Amazons of the world have scores, hundreds of developers who can read my books and all the other tools that are out there and learn all of that and do everything by hand. But that's a small percentage of the web companies out there. And then also the other thing that we've talked about that came up in your workshop is even if people have developers that know how to do all that stuff, they're using some CMS, some framework that constrains how much they can touch the content.
They can't actually do it themselves.
And so having something to automate that, it's awesome.
So that's our world. Thanks,
right,
boys.
Man.
Thanks for being here.
Likewise. Thanks for the call.
See you, Josh.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right. So tell us, how's Velocity going? What are people saying about Keynote?
It's great. Velocity, it's really heartwarming to see so many people at a place like this, because it really tells us that our industry has come a long way.
Yeah.
And that's really what's great about it. So having been in the business for 15 years, or Keynote has been, and I've been in it for 8, it's just amazing to see it come here.
Yeah, you feel a lot of support, the whole community, like everyone's speaking the same language, same mindset, getting excited about the same stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So what's the, you talked a lot yesterday about kind of the mobile space and what you guys were doing. What's the big message this year from you guys in terms of what's important and what you want every attendee and also the broader community to know?
Our message is to measure the user experience, you have to go where the users are.
Yeah.
And if the users are going to mobile, or if they're going to Firefox or to Chrome, you've got to be there.
Yep.
That's what we believe. So whether it's monitoring your end user experience using a Chrome, a real browser, using Firefox, we're doing that. We're obviously doing mobile devices. You saw the demo yesterday.
Yep.
And we're trying to go even further beyond that as well, inside the networks, to figure out if there's an end-to-end service delivery we can do. So that's really what we want to try to achieve this year.
Awesome. I totally agree with you. You need that ground truth information.
Yes. Yeah.
Vic, great seeing you, man.
Great seeing you.
Thanks again, man.
Thanks, Jesse.
See ya. Welcome back to Velocity.
Thanks a lot, Jesse. Appreciate it.
Hey, Josh, nice meeting you.
So Dine, one of the things that I love about you guys is the fact that you not only have been sort of trying to make ops and infrastructure sexy, but you wear the T-shirt.
Yeah, we definitely do.
I love it.
We are trying to make DNS and operations very sexy.
So, so what have you guys been finding here? What's been interesting? Has it been busy?
This has been one of the best shows we've been to. It is so targeted. People that we want to talk to are here. Our market base is here. So this is like the perfect week for us. I can't tell you how many people I meet that are existing customers, either from Dine DNS or from Dinect. It's great to be in front of customers and in front of prospects, having a phenomenal conversation. So this has been a fantastic week so far.
What's the number one thing that you kind of want people to know about Dine here, or in terms of like what should every person at Velocity know about what you guys are doing?
Well, we're a managed DNS company, and we're trying to bring DNS to the forefront. It is an integral part of the network and an integral part of the infrastructure. So it all starts and it can end with the DNS. So DNS is a very important piece, and we're just trying to make it as sexy as possible.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks, Josh. Good to be here. So what are some of the things that when some of the attendees have come up, they've been like, wow, that you've shown them that Neustar has? What's wowed them?
So a couple of things that differentiate us. We do a lot of specialization in network monitoring, email services monitoring, DNS monitoring, very, very specialized. We also offer DNS network, but also we have an ecosystem management tool that allows you to delegate responsibility to your various teams within your company or your vendors, okay? Delegate the alerts to them, have those things escalate. If it doesn't get fixed in 5 minutes, it actually will ping you and say, hey, get on them.
Yeah, that's important. Tim was talking about that yesterday, about how interconnected all of the services are on the web, and that's just going to continue to be more so as we go forward. So to keep one website up actually depends on a large number of other service providers.
Yeah, so we built a part. I mean, it's configuration of the system. We basically built a feature with monitoring that allows one person to delegate to 50. You get your own account, vendor 6 gets their own account, 3, the database team gets an account, and they get the messages, and you kind of, ultimate cosmic power, itty bitty living space.
All right. Thanks a lot for being at Velocity.
No problem.
Thank you. So tell me about what Code Radiant's doing now.
Sure. Radiant's a passive web application performance monitor. We've been working on a prototype to integrate page speed rules, so that we're constantly evaluating page speed rules for actual users at all times. What we're particularly interested in is trying to find out how page speed rules might become dynamic. For example, mobile users, or if you knew that you were building a site for really lousy networks, then you'd probably build it differently. So maybe the same rules, but with slightly different applications, probably a brand new set of rules. And if that's the case, then we want to be able to evaluate the rules that are appropriate for each user that's hitting your site according to their particular case. If you're on a mobile browser over a wireless internet and the network's getting a lot of packet loss, then these are the rules we'll apply, produce a page score appropriate for that traffic, and then roll that up into what's your page score like, what's your page speed like over time, and be able to map that against, when you improve your page speed, does that actually improve your performance? Or does it improve your performance for some browsers but not others? Do that kind of thing.
So this is really important to combine. What we started with was kind of usage metrics, like how many page views and unique users 10 years ago, and then we started developing these business KPIs, conversions and shopping cart size and things like that. And now we're adding to that, to the mix, now that we know that performance is so important, adding that and being able to combine all of those into one reporting framework. That's really important.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, being able to combine, if you've got a problem, is the problem the network? And if it is the network, is it your page design, or is it just the quality of the network itself? As one of the questions that our customers would really love to answer. Right now, they kind of blame the network, when in fact it could be their page design. So it's one of the things we want to be able to bubble up and explain to them.
Hey, Jesse Robbins. We actually haven't met before.
Nice to meet you. No, we haven't met before.
So, thank you guys for being here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing?
Yeah, sure. So this is the fastest, most reliable solid-state storage device in the industry. And we launched the product this week. We've had some great customer testimonies and third-party reviews in the product. We're really excited about it. And we've been really packed all day. It's been a great conference, so thank you. Yeah,
it's been interesting in terms of people having to figure out how to re-architect their infrastructure as a result of having an entirely new class of I/O. Like everyone in the ops space is sort of having like, oh great, now we have to upgrade to 10 gig E because of all the, now we can push all this new data. So what are the stats? Like what are the
stats?
Yeah.
So, our card delivers 1 million IOPS, and more importantly, we can deliver 200,000 sustained IOPS. Day 1, day 100, day 1,000. We really took on some of the challenges that were inherent with Flash in terms of reliability, and we solved for them. We have some really good founders from places like Intel and Google, and we put a lot of energy into this. We want Flash to be ubiquitously deployed, but we understand there are some major challenges, and we've tackled those. So we're really excited. Yeah.
So what do you want people to know?
Well, I'll tell you what the biggest questions we're getting, I think, is more along the lines of two of our fastest growing services. One is on-demand load testing, understanding how applications perform always from the end user's perspective when it's under load. So a customer that's in Beijing on China Netcom, a cable connection versus somebody in Verizon DSL Los Angeles. When the app is under load, executing all the third-party components, they want to know what the end user experience is. That, and then also the concept of passive or real user monitoring from the browser, because so much is taking place in the browser today, right? So the old world synthetic monitoring can't meet all the requirements that somebody on the line of business might need. So those are probably the two biggest areas of growth for us and what people are asking about.
Well, it's great to have you guys here this year, and I'm excited to see more stuff come out. So
yeah, well, congratulations, guys! It's a good, very good show. And Steve, man, you're a legend, and we appreciate what you did. This guy tortured us over at Gomez, but it all worked out.
He does it to everyone. So
we knew.
Hey, I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve. Lysandra.
My gosh, I'm sorry. I haven't seen you in about a year since last year's Velocity. I missed this year's meeting.
Yeah.
So I work at Google too.
Yes.
Hey, I think we've met.
Hi, Steve. We've met. I'm Fred. How are you? So we're all working on making the web faster, right?
Did you see Orse's talk?
Yes. I missed one bullet. You had the slide, and I think there wasn't enough room for it. But he talked about the closure compiler, speeding, all those things. Google Web Toolkit does spreading. It does bundling of resources, makes the web faster, fewer round trips. Another one that we missed. But I love everything that you're doing and the conference is doing. I'm very excited to be here. It's my first year, and I think I'm coming back next year.
I mean, it works really well for me. I mean, Google is so motivated, internally about performance, and I think that's where all this has grown from, and now doing so much outreach externally around making the internet faster. So I know the exhibit hall has only been open a couple hours. How's it going so far?
We've been extremely busy so far.
Awesome.
We've been doing whiteboard presentations, so we've had a lot of interest in all the presentations we have had here, and we'll continue to have those during the AM and PM breaks. So,
and over the last year, I try really hard not to come off like a Google fanboy, but over last year, over last year, Google has released a lot of stuff. So we had good demos in the booth last year. This year, I think, really good demos, in particular, focused on performance.
Yep,
so
we've released we put tools in the hands of developers. Everyone's had Firebug for a long time, but now there's Speed Tracer. There's all these tools out there, so you can actually look at your website and you can see why it's slow. And then because there's awareness, there's solutions out there. There's things like the Closure Compiler, Google Web Toolkit, the spriting tool that you have. I mean, it all comes together and gives people the resources to understand their problem, fix their problem, get more revenue, get more users, make users happier. I would like the web to be faster. I know everyone's like that. So,
awesome. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. You too.
All right. Tell us about AlertSite.
So AlertSite is a web application performance monitoring vendor, and AlertSite is here to, this is probably the biggest gathering of people who care about the web needs to be fast in the country, and we couldn't miss the show this year.
So what kind of performance criteria are you monitoring? Time?
So AlertSite is monitoring with our DesiaClick technology, which is our flagship technology for measuring web application performance from within the browser. So that allows us to operate kind of at that mythical layer 8 of the OSI model, where we're driving the entire interaction.
Wow,
through,
layer 8.
That's right, layer 8, where we're driving that entire interaction through the user interface, and we've categorized, the menuing using the fields, pressing the buttons as true user. And then at the end of the year, last year, we introduced a new technology called True Screen, which was when we detect that we're dealing with things like embedded objects, we'll flip on all the OS listeners and start listening to mouse and keyboard input and doing all the XY coordinate stuff.
So Schooner has two appliance solutions. Our first appliance is for MySQL, and our second appliance is focused on Memcached. Both products leverage flash memory to focus on driving server consolidation and reducing your administration overhead in your data centers. Our MySQL appliance comes in a 0.5 terabyte and a 1 terabyte configuration, and we use enterprise flash memory to increase performance, whereas typically you may have to shard your infrastructure for write and read workloads, we're able to handle that performance within a single appliance and reduce your server infrastructure as well as your associated administrative burdens. We also offer centralized GUI and CLI management tools with the appliance. The appliance is manufactured by IBM and distributed by IBM worldwide. We do ship with the enterprise license of MySQL included with the box, and we do support you on both the software and hardware. On the Memcached side, we have a very similar hardware configuration with a 0.5 terabyte of capacity. We have also added to the Memcached protocol both high availability through an active-active replication scheme as well as persistence, so if there's any service interrupt, your data is not lost, or you can fail over to a secondary Schooner node and maintain service uptime.
Sure. So Clustrix is a company that builds a massively parallel database. This is a brand new database from scratch. It emulates MySQL today, but it is not MySQL. You can do a MySQL dump directly into the box. The application doesn't require a rewrite, but the difference here is because this is a shared nothing architecture and it's massively parallel, we can take a single instance database and scale it infinitely without ever having to shard or partition, which is a fundamental advantage to scaling large databases. You don't have to surrender a lot of the functionality that you do if you're looking at NoSQL solutions. Our solution is ACID compliant, fully relational, and immediately consistent. So it's sort of all of the goodness of true SQL and all of the goodness of NoSQL in the sense that you get massive linear scalability, you can do schema changes on the fly, it addresses the fundamental underlying architectural problem that single serial databases were never designed for web scale businesses, so we've designed one that is.
CD Networks operates the second largest content delivery network in the world, and we've got points of presence in over 100 different cities on 5 continents, doing all the traditional CDN delivery, streaming video, content delivery. What we're really here at the show talking about is our new application acceleration, which delivers dynamic web content. So any sort of non-cacheable, database-intensive applications, we're able to accelerate those queries 4 to 5x on our network, and it allows our customers to prevent having to build out additional infrastructure and deploy in additional data centers, and have more control over their applications, reach a more global audience, and generate more money from their applications.